Hey jazz ensemblers, I'm going to show you three sites that are super useful and also some tips and tricks along the way. The first site to show you is realbooksite.com, which is basically the same thing as your typical real book. It's just online. This guy. Um, the fun thing about the real book is that it has all these tunes in it that you can look at the chords at and things like that. But it's just a book. Um, the nice thing about this site is that it has many of the songs in the book. I don't know if it has, everything is exactly there. Um, but I'm pretty sure it is. Let me just see. 398. Oh, maybe not exactly the same, but that's okay. Now you'll notice there's lots of frowny faces. The frowny face means you get this awesome message. Because of circumstances beyond our control, the song's music cannot be viewed on this site. But a little tip, if you just type that in and go to images, you'll probably find it. Yeah, here's a version, here's a version, here's a version. So you can find the stuff. You just have to do a bit of digging. The thing that I like the most about the Real Book site is this. Not only can you just go by song by song by song, it's going by the pages in the book. And I'm actually, you can't see me, but I have a real book right here, and I'm going to turn to page 336. Nope. It's different. Just wanted to double check. So the books that we have aren't the same. But here's the cool part. Ready? I don't know if you can hear it or not. Maybe you can hear it really faintly. So not only do I get one version, I get several. And this is, I think it's wonderful. I think it's a great resource. Now let's look at one that we're able to see the tune itself. We'll do this one, Little Waltz by Ron Carter. So we have Ron Carter and Freddie Hubbard playing, and also Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, and Billy Cobham playing. Let's listen to that one and follow along. It might take a second for it to start. There it is. Let's try this one. Oh, here we go. So I think it's a great resource for listening to tunes that you might be curious about, or maybe you've wondered what, let's see, um, Isotope sounds like, or I Remember Clifford. That's a great tune, and you want to hear some examples and also follow along, you can. So I think it's a really great and useful site. There's something else that's really cool in here too, and it's this that you probably noticed. This thing, the chord sounder. You can look for these online. They're everywhere. Basically, this one is just right on the site, so I wanted to show it to you here. And what it does is, let's look. Let's see. Here we go. We'll do this tune, like Someone in Love. So there might be a chord in here that's weird that you're not sure what to do. Here we go. G7 over D. What we can do here is I can choose G7 over, here's the bass note, D, and I can play it and listen to it. cheesy as it may be, you can at least hear what these chords sound like if you're unfamiliar with some of them. Let's see. Um, One thing is it doesn't show you the notes to play for that, but at least you can hear it. There are chord dictionaries that also show you notes. I mean, it's not that hard to look for them too. I mean, I'll just look up chord dictionary. Let me just try this out and see. I'll do C#7. Actually, we'll just do a C. Oh, this is a guitar. That's not so friendly and helpful. Okay, maybe you do have to do some digging. We don't want to do just a guitar. Let's see. Well, it says for guitar, but it's not so useful. Maybe for keyboard notes, but anyway. So it was a stab. It was dry. Maybe it's a bit of a fail. That's okay. But I could find some and show it to you later. The next one to look at is Jazz in America. This site is it's aimed more at music instructors, like jazz band directors in America. Obviously, you can tell that from the title. But the cool thing about it is that there's a couple of things in here that's pretty interesting, especially under jazz resources. You can listen to a couple of songs in here, and you can just, let's see if we can find, here we go, footprints. You can listen to it for a little bit. The cool thing is that some of these have an analysis in there for you. So you can kind of get an idea of what's happening in the tune, and sometimes there are also special notes here too. So I like this website. It's simple. It's nothing too crazy. There's also other really cool stuff in the resources, like important musicians, depending on the instrument, or where is it? The timeline is really cool too, because you can look to see how jazz progressed over time, or important firsts for jazz musicians, things like that. It's pretty cool. There's also this thing with Herbie Hancock. It's a little bit weird. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Yes. Yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, it's cool. It's an not interactive, but it's like a cartoon version of Herbie Hancock talking about the history of jazz. But I don't know, it might be a little bit boring for you. The last site I want to show you is actually, it's on YouTube. It's not a site, but it's a channel. And Jazz at Lincoln Center is a really great organization that teaches specifically middle school, or really high school level and upper level jazz musicians and jazz learners how to do what professionals do. And it goes into discussions. You can also search by in the playlist section. There's specific instruments, and it's great. There's lots of really good stuff in here, and I could spend a lot of time talking about things that I like in here. But basically, there's tons and tons of good stuff in here that really you guys should just be watching to get some good ideas on how to do things better. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Dig in, keep practicing.